Hey there folks, Champesca here bringing another audio commentary, and today we have a game on Melting Valley between th and Fly. This is one of Fly's pseudonyms, and this is a game, as I say, on Melting Valley, and really for Orc versus Human on this map, this is really the map actually that invented the sort of super turtling human style, where you definitely try and get the space first with that Mount King, and then you can get that very quick level 3 if you creep this spot, then this spot, then usually then this expansion with militia, and then here, and then that will get you that level 3 on your Mount King, at which point you can just basically turtle till tier 3, get 100 food of griffins, and really have a super powerful army, and that's become a strategy. It's become popular on a lot more maps, really as a result of being so successful here, and it's really tricky for the Orcs to deal with, so we'll have to see if that's what th wants to go for, but certainly this is th, so really anything is possible. As likely as not, we're not even going to be seeing Mount King first, just because th really likes to play things differently. But Fly, so well known for his Blade Master usage, although he's really one of the few players who can use the Farseer really effectively, but we are seeing a Blade Master this time round, and it's not too surprising, because obviously this is such a huge map that it's hard to do much harassment, especially if you're going up against a Mount King. And, actually no, we are seeing the Archmage first though from th, so a bit of a different strategy. You can still go for those normal things, but we'll have to see if that's what th wants to go for, or if he wants to play more of a caster style, maybe a really old school Sky push, something like that. We can see Fly's Voodoo Lounge here not being attacked anymore, but I don't think th could have pulled the creeps on there because of this one trapper would have ensnared the peasant before he managed to get them there. So good choices to build this farm here. It's going to give him a good idea of where Fly is going, because even though the Blade Master can wind walk past, obviously the grunts will have to walk past or take a really roundabout route, and it's really good to buy Fly some, or buy th some time as well while he gets his expansion up and running, because almost certainly he's going to want to be creeping out, as I said, this camp, and then meandering his way over to that expansion. But oh no, look at that, he's actually going straight for this corner expansion. Very interesting play here by th. This is really not something you see very often, because this expansion is so much harder to defend. We see a huge wide open entrance here, and also it's much closer to your opponent's base and much further from yours, so th may be hoping to win a bit of surprise points here. We can see Fly has already finished creeping off that, or just getting the one item there from that camp, and will now be heading off in the hopes of a creep jack by the looks of things. Maybe just gonna stop off at the shop first to buy some another circlet. We'll have to see, but in the meantime th is now almost finished this creeping, gonna get us level 2 as well, which is so nice. And we can see by Fly taking out this one ogre match, hopefully he's gonna pull his grunt back sooner rather than later here. He will be able to get a very nice item, as well as that watch ward on his enemy's creeps. Yeah, he does pull that grunt back while his Blade Master's still around, so that it doesn't get caught by those trappers, and eventually Fly does get out of there with a Ring of Regeneration, and as I say, crucially that watch ward, which is just so super useful when it's on your enemy's side. And we now have th taking this expansion, and Fly now realizing that there's not that expansion going up there, or the creeping going on. He's going to be very suspicious, and now his grunt's actually getting out that this hasn't been crept out, so really by powers of deduction he knows what's going on at this point, and actually looks like this one farm is being slowly taken out, but that's going to be a waste of a grunt for a long time there for Fly. I'm not sure that's the best choice for him. He might want to wait till he has raiders, and wait till he's creeping out his expansion, at which point raiders won't be as useful, and he can just take it out then. But well, it looks like Fly going to instead try and do a bit of killing here. Going to get one footman kill by the looks of things. He has not yet purchased Boots of Speed, so Fly is still very slow, but obviously the Archmage hasn't had a chance to even stop off at a shop yet, so also no boots for him either. And this Arcane Tower about halfway done, but in the meantime Fly going to be able to pick up a couple of peasants. Look, he's just going to be able to get one, and he's going to have to go all the way around, and th can just walk them back and forth. Really nice tower placement here by th, and actually th now just letting the peasants continue mining so they can finish the construction, and looks like Fly in a bit of trouble, taking a bit too much damage here, but in the meantime he has managed to send this one grunt here to actually do a bit of damage to this town hall, and keep th busy, even force him to turn one militia and get to give chase, and this farm finally going to go down. But really it would have been nice to see those grunts around here doing a bit of damage to those peasants while they were constructing that, and looks like actually both the grunts now here for Fly going to be able to do a lot of damage, and looks like this one militia is being like Rebecca out. th obviously has very good multitasking skills, and not going to run out here. He could actually at this point, I think, with the Archmage, put the creeps onto the Voodoo Launch. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it should be possible. Certainly he can bring up a water elemental just to do a bit of damage there, and we do not have Fly about 60% of the way to tier 2, and we do have this one grunt still whacking away on this town hall at the front. Very nice play there by him. Just really going to keep TH looking at 100 places at once. In the meantime, the Blademaster checking what's going on here, but really can't do too much because of this arcane tower. And these actually have 2 grunts here, really causing a lot of trouble for TH, really forcing him to build this tower now, as well as doing sort of 200 damage, 250 damage to this town hall. So really causing a bit of problems here for TH. In the meantime, we do have this Blademaster still wandering around, trying to get some creep jacks off by the looks of things, but he just can't find that Archmage at the moment. And the guard tower now going down. Obviously, guard tower much more effective against these grunts, because the arcane tower really doesn't do too much. Finally, looks like Fly's found the Archmage, but only because it's in his base, and it's now going to be able to bring up some water elementals and maybe even cancel this very early War Mill, which is an interesting choice here. We do have, the Blademaster now comes out of Windwalk, but we do have the Staff of Teleportation, so he should be able to get away if he needs to. Looks like there's one water elemental being cut out here. I'm not sure if TH thought he could walk through that gap or not. I'm not sure why he moved there, but the Archmage is already TP'd back now to his base, and TH has now started his tier 2 a bit earlier than we often see human players going in. Nice actually 4 points around there by those grunts, but it looks like Fly realizes actually they're taking too much damage, and we can see he's now using his other grunts to block the Archmage so he can get his other grunt away, although he actually doesn't so much time doing that. He doesn't rally his grunt all the way back to his base, so he actually takes a bit more damage than he necessarily needed to. And the Archmage now with the Staff of Teleportation as well as the boost speed, very mobile, very nice on a large map like this. Even though it's a 2-player map, it is quite a large map nonetheless, and the Blademaster now going to be able to come back in and actually cause a lot of trouble here for this Archmage, because obviously the staff's still on cooldown, so for a very short time more. So actually with the scroll speed being used and the windwalk, looks like TH now going to take a lot more damage on this Archmage. Might be forced to use his TP. He is level 2, so it probably will be worth using it. Another windwalk being used, and now actually getting around front, so he can do more damage quicker. And he's down to 32 hit points. Will he be able to run away? Looks like he doesn't. He chooses not to run into sort of the dead end of his towers, which would at least drain a bit of mana away from the Blademaster there. Another windwalk has been used now, and a TP being used preemptively by TH. Very nice play there by him, as he now TPs to the back of his base, where he has no Arcane Sanctum, unfortunately for him. Very there. Actually, his Arcane Sanctum's at his expansion. I guess he just knew that he couldn't TP there because Fly would be on top of things, and indeed he was. Looking all the way around the base there. Very smart play there by both players. Really being very safe. And meanwhile, we do have the Shadow Hunter now out for Fly, as well as Bestiary and a Spirit Lodge. A very centered opening. Apart from this very early War Mill, perhaps because it was an Archmage first, we did have Fly being a bit worried about tower rushes, so wanted to be able to put up his own tower if he felt that something like that was going to be coming on at tier 2. But it looks like because tier 2 is going to be late enough that the second tier is going to be out, and the tier 2 tech's going to be out for Fly. He's probably not going to need it for a little while. You know, Fly doing some nice creeping here. Actually, picking up TH is now picking up a Zeppelin as well as a Shredder. I'm going to try and maybe get a couple hits off or something. I'm not sure why he's dropped his Shredder. It looks like he's actually just going to try and do a bit of harassment. This one footman, realizing that the only unit that can hit air here is a Shadow Hunter, which is the lowest DPS hero in the game. And Health Stone, fantastic, and I really love Health Stone. Combination really of the regeneration and the health potion aspects are just so powerful, especially on a hero like the Blademaster, where it's always going to need some rejuvenation over long periods of time, but then also can get in scrapes, especially depending on what the second hero of TH is going to be. And it's going to be a Mountain King, which is a really good hero to have a health stone against. And actually it's on the Shadow Hunter at the moment, so maybe he just wants to heal up this bit of damage he's taken because he knows it's a low health hero. But look at this, a lot of low grunts here for Fly. Really does need to be careful with those, because obviously if we did have something like a Beastmaster second, Creepjack could be very painful, and Fly hasn't scouted out what TH is doing in terms of second heroes recently. And as far as tier 2 tech goes, looks like we don't have much going on at the moment. One Arcane Sanctum actually going up at the expansion here. Interesting choice actually. I think it might be better somewhere like here, where it'll be a bit more protected by the towers, but it looks like he is going to be putting it a bit more out front. And in the meantime, we do have an expansion going up. It looks like, wow, look at this. Already tier 3, getting that greater, tiny Great Hall. Going to allow him to build an expansion very quickly there. And actually, I think he has too many, I think he's put 6 on gold there, so a bit of a mistake there by Fly, but nonetheless, it's not the end of the world for him. He'll notice eventually, I'm sure. And we do now have the Shadow Hunter going to be level 3 very soon, so very effective creeping here by Fly so far. And actually we can see his grunts have been healed quite well over time, and they've been creeping so constantly, and still a couple of them on high health and a couple of them are at low health but not being focused. And Tome of Experience there, brilliant items here for Fly, and we'll have to see what he gets from here. Calls of Attack +9, fantastic items there for that for Fly, and now this Playmaster is still not level 3 actually, which would be pretty nice, but now that he has this expansion up, he can afford to play a bit of a longer game, doesn't need to worry about being aggressive, and th now heading straight for tier 3 actually. That's a unconventional choice, certainly when he's gone for this Arcane Sanctum first, actually building a second one as well, so that's really unusual there. Maybe he's going to be hoping to get things like Polymorph and the Inner Fire, we'll have to see. One ring of protection actually here, looks like this Militia creep, and looks like this Mountain King going to pick it up, as well as the +3 agility, which is actually going to give him a pretty decent armor, and that can be alright, especially against that Blademaster, which can be so threatening. And this Blademaster bearing down on the heroes of th. th could be forced to run back. Let's see, he could sacrifice one footman there, but instead, yeah, Fly actually no, he's going to go for that. It looks like he was going to try and go for that priest, but I think he realized it wasn't worth the risk, because there's a full mana Mountain King there and enough units to get a good surround and do a good amount of damage. Even if Fly could eventually get away, he might have a mana stone as well. It'd be nice to actually trade that for the health stone that the Shadowhunter has. Those are both better on the other heroes, but I think at the moment, because this Shadowhunter has a good amount of mana anyways, and the Blademaster is doing a bit more harassment where you might need instant mana, sort of, it might make more sense for him to keep it like that until the battle, or until the Shadowhunter is really low on mana. Then you might be able to trade it over. Look at this Archmage actually having some very nice items, 750 potential hit points of healing there, as well as the priest, going to make him actually much more durable than he normally is, so it would be nice to see one of those healing potions transferred over to the Mountain King, who has now picked up an Ivory Tower, so maybe that's just going to be for scouting, because he does have the ability for towers to reveal invisible units, which is very nice. And look at this Alchemist third here by Fly, really common in one situation on this map, which is when your opponent is going mass air, because obviously then you can do a huge amount of reducing armor, and at that point your Bat Riders become much more effective, and looks like, so if that is what TH's intentions are, which actually looks like they might well be based on these two Griffin Aviaries going up, that's going to be a very smart choice there by Fly, who I don't believe had actually scouted those out, so it's a good call there, just scouting that tier 3 and realizing that was the best choice. And we do have this Paladin coming out third tier for th, so good hero combinations for both sides, really going to work well together against their enemies' armies. And actually it looks like this one scout tower is just put down here by the looks of things, just so that there'd be a bit more protection of this invisibility while he creeps out these very tricky creeps, which can be so detrimental if you lose that lose the Granite Golem and then the item as well, because the item can be absolutely fantastic from those creeps. And this Blademaster now looks like he's doing a bit more shopping. He does have the Orb of Lightning, which is again very useful against any sort of air play, which we are seeing th going for. And in the meantime, this creep cap is about to be finished by the looks of things. Actually no, this Granite Golem is going to take a while yet, and this another bestiary actually going up, so maybe we're going to be seeing a trend. Yeah, triple bestiary generally means we're going to be seeing lots and lots of Bat Riders, and especially in conjunction with this Alchemist, as long as you can prevent too many armor upgrades from finishing, then you can be alright. But we can see that already the second armor upgrade for th is just about to finish now, so he is in a very good position, despite having done this weird opening with all the two Arcane Sanctums. Actually, look at this, he's getting Inner Fire. That's going to give him +5 armor on all his air units, should he choose to put on his air units. And that's going to be really nice at negating the effects of the Alchemist, who is still only level 1. And actually, what was the item that they picked up there? I didn't even check after all that. What's the Mountain King? Oh, not a great item. Crystal Ball. It's actually not that bad against the Blademaster, because it can give you some really clutch revealing if Blademaster tries to get out with a couple hit points, but other than that it's really not too useful. It's better just to use it once and then sell it pretty much immediately. And this Alchemist now going to get pretty close to level 3, as well as having a wand of mana stealing. Going to be nice to use that on the Mountain King, because obviously those bolts can be very brutal if used in rapid succession. And we do have a lot of Inner Fire being used, as well as these Griffin Riders with Animal Ward hitting already done. We can see 2 armor upgrades done, and the third one now halfway done as well. So very nice. And look at this one Blademaster actually takes a couple shots from, because he is revealed by these towers. But I wonder if th not going to think to use his Crystal Ball now. Instead, just going to let that Blademaster run on by. And actually now revealing this spot here, very interesting play here by th, now realizing that he really does need to know if a third expansion is going up. I think he doesn't think it's too likely, but he has that Crystal Ball, so it's not costing him anything to do that occasional revealing. And we do now have actually a lot of reveals being used from the actually, and that's going to cost him a fair bit of money, but we do have a battle finally starting, and we see all these bonus armor are eventually being negated by the Spirit Walkers, which have come into the battle finally, and do have a couple of dispels in them, but not too many. We do even have one knight with 10 armor, because even with no armor upgrades on that knight, very, very nice. And we can see now that the Griffin Rider's only at +2 armor now, so not huge amounts of armor, but a couple breakers will be very, very useful. Battle Riders come in, but a nice split there by TH really manages to keep a lot of his units alive. But the Archmage now taking a lot of damage, is heavily lighted up, and it does have this greater healing push as well, but he is hexed now, so he won't be able to use it for a short period of time. And we do have the Blade Master unfortunately not getting any hits off before the hex runs out. Very, very unfortunate there for him. And now we have the heroes of Fly in pretty bad position here. This Shadowhunter is pretty low on health, does still have that health stone, bear in mind, but the Paladin are taking a lot of damage, being forced to use that greater healing potion, and this Alchemist now down to very, very low health, is healing waved up, but there's not too many healing waves, actually only 2 healing waves left. And now the Archmage now gets focused down by a huge critical strike there from the Blade Master, who does now hit level 4, and now very, very low health on a bunch of the heroes here for Fly, and even a couple of the Griffin Riders at pretty low health, but are being microed very, very deftly. And now TH left with only 2 heroes, and the Smell Kick actually pretty close to level 3, so he could be getting that level 2 bolt very shortly. And in the meantime, actually, there it goes, that level 2 bolt will be incoming very, very soon. And we can see as the second skill, instead of Divine Shield, we have had Devotion Aura being picked up to give even more armor to these Griffin Riders, who we can see even without the Inner Fire have 7.5 base armor, or 7.5 armor, which is just so nice. And we can see with it they have 12.5, which is just so huge. Such a huge damage reduction. You see it's 43% damage reduction from those Bat Riders, which would just do so much damage otherwise, and it means you can actually have them a bit clumped up and not lose too many units, and they become very, very cost ineffective when it's 2 base versus 2 base. And so Fly will either need to be picking up a 3rd base very soon, which is very possible with the Tiny Great Hall, or he'll need to be doing something else. We can see even the Master Training now being done on these Spirit Walkers as well, so they will be able to revive each other, as well as potentially Tauren, but certainly you don't really want to be getting Tauren against Griffin Riders because they do such huge magic damage. And the Archmage now should soon be back for TH, and at that point maybe he'll be looking to take another attack, but at this point he really does need to be careful. Doesn't need to worry too much about creeping because he does have that level 3 on his Mount King, and it would be nice to have level 3 on the Paladin as well. We can see Fly actually now switching to lots of Kodo Beasts. Interesting choice there. They do have the upgraded War Drums damage as well. We can see +4, which is going to be pretty useful, but also they can tank a huge amount of damage, especially if they're spirit linked, and that can be useful against those against the Griffin Riders if we do have a battle like that. But it's going to be interesting at least. Ooh, look at that very, very nice reveal there. Catching this Blade Master out, who is just going to be skirting on the edges for a little while at least. Clearly TH with some huge psychic abilities there, managing to determine that it's likely that Fly was around him at that point. Just best to play it safe, I suppose, for Fly. It doesn't need to get too close because there's no creeping really going on. One Bat Rider looks like it's actually been rallied, as well as the Spirit Walker's been rallied to this Blade Master. Really would be nice to switch the rally to the Shadowhunter instead. Shadowhunter instantly level 4, Alchemist level 2. And actually Alchemist level 3 would be pretty nice if you could get. I'm not sure how many creeps are left. There's this creep camp here, but it's currently being taken here by TH, and there's obviously this camp there. That's going to be pretty tricky for Fly to creep out safely, just because it can be it can take a very, very long time to finish creeping, and lots of his units do very low damage, especially if he brings his Playmaster out, so he can get more experience for his other 2 heroes. Things like Bat Riders and Raiders really not good at creeping out those camps. Actually, the Kodos could be very, very nice for devouring these Knights as well, if the Knights are just left out of position like this, in which it looks like they might well be. All of the Bat Riders now going to come in, but not actually going for but it looks like maybe they will be finally used, but it looks like actually they're doing a bit of damage. Finally they go in, do a bit more damage. As you can see, just so much base armor here that it's very, very tricky for Fly to do really anything with his Bat Riders. Looks like it would probably be best for him to switch out of that at this point. Nice Holy Light actually being used on that one Spellbreaker to keep it alive for a lot longer. 2-0 upgrades on those Spellbreakers and Knights as well, which is very, very handy, and so much Inner Fire now for TH, as TH now sets up a bunch of towers as well. They can see that invisible Blade Master as well, so it's going to cause a lot of trouble if Fly wants to be playing it close to the bone with his Blade Master. But it looks like another actually reveal being used there, trying to keep everything alive. Inner Fire even being used on these peasants at this point to really just he has so much mana from that Archmage. Very, very nice play there by TH, as it looks like he's managing to hold the line fairly well, and he can just buy a bit more time now, at which point he can start his expansion, and that's going to be very, very useful for him. The Mount King is eventually focused down now, but this Blade Master is so low that it's unlikely that Fly's going to be able to do much more, even without the bolt. very nice play here by a Fly, and I think he will be able. Ooh, maybe he's actually going to be able to get one more kill here. But he's staying in the battle to his credit. But I'm just not sure there's too much more he can do without taking a lot of damage now. And just like it looks like all the heroes are being micro back. The Spellbreakers are going to be pretty difficult to kill, and these Griffin Riders are just so easy to micro back when there's not any Bat Riders around. Even this one Griffin Rider moving a bit too far forward, but eventually being pulled back. And now the Raiders are starting to be picked off. I think this is sort of a bad time for Fly to be continuing this battle now, as really he's going to start losing a lot of units, and the units he kills are going to be too easily replaced as th starts up his third base. And we can see these Raiders are just so annoying to try to lose, because they're just so critical in trying to micro things around. And these Kodos, you can see in the back, have done a fantastic job. 2 of them have eaten Knights, and just been providing ores this whole time, as well as being spirit linked during the beginning of the battle. Really allowed them to absorb probably about 1,000 damage in total, because none of them were really focused for that for too long, and then they were healing waves constantly throughout the battle as well. But we can now see th taking his third base, and only one tower here, so Fly not going to be able to take his third base for quite a while, probably, because of the proximity of this base to this base. It's going to be very tricky for Fly to actually move down. Actually, we even have a Sapper being purchased here. Interesting play. I wonder if th is just going to try and take out this one tower with it. I don't see why he would do that, but certainly I don't see why th would do lots of the things he does, which will then later turn out to be sort of revolutionary or blindingly obvious in retrospect. And yeah, the Sapper now going up to take down this expansion. Actually, Great Hall's going down. If the Sapper could be perfectly timed, that would be the best timed Sapper ever. But it looks like it will be taken down by the tower, and th going to be able to go move a bit up if he wants to afterwards. But it looks like th maybe going to be waiting a bit longer for the Mount King to be back. That would certainly be a smart choice at this point, as just that Mount King can be so useful at the beginning of battles, while it still has a lot of mana. And th now banking a lot of money, yet 74 food. It looks like he's now going to be pushing up into high upkeep, whereas Fly now still going to be at almost no money, but just staying in low upkeep, so he will have better income for a good period of time now, as this expansion is now going to be finishing pretty soon. Notice it's a Great Hall, not a tiny Great Hall, so it's going to take him a long time more, but because Fly has so little money, he can't afford to make the investment to build a tiny Great Hall when he needs to be trying to get closer to 80 food. Bear in mind, he hasn't managed to actually get to 80 food, or yeah, even now he's still at 72. And ooh, wow, look at this, going for double Torms after I was just one Torms and one Spirit Lodge here. Interesting choice here there by Fly, certainly after I was mocking them earlier, but maybe they'll have some usage here. You don't see them too often used at all, but if Fly can take out the Griffin Riders, they will be pretty useful against the Breakers. This is really the one situation in which Tauren are very useful, is if there is a transition from Griffin Riders to casters by the human, then the Tauren, because you're obviously already at tier 3 as the Orc, then you can go for Tauren, and they just do a huge amount of damage, especially when you have things like the auras from Kodo Beast, and you have some good upgrades and things like that. They just have so much health. And then when you also have the Master Spirit Walkers as well, really interesting dynamic there. Looks like 2 Sappers are now coming in, do manage to take down that Great Hall, and now Fly gonna be mining only off this one base when it finishes. Bear in mind the main bases are mined out at this point. So really interesting play here by th. It's a pretty big investment from him, but bear in mind th has a lot of money banked, so he will be able to play a bit more sort of courageously at this point. This one water elemental has been made invisible. Would be nice to send it out front just to scout for these enemy units coming in. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing here, and we can see Inner Fire already having been cast on all the units here. Bear in mind Inner Fire, actually I haven't really mentioned it, but does give a bit of extra damage, as it's 10% extra damage as well as 5 extra armor. Really the armor is the most important thing, but the damage certainly is very nice on things like Griffin Riders, which do a huge amount of damage. And we do now have the Baymaster now coming in. Bear in mind the orb the Baymaster have will cancel things like Inner Fire occasionally, but it will also cancel things like Hex, unfortunately, occasionally. We do have one of these Griffin Riders being ensnared in a very bad position. These Tauren now really going to be able to do a lot of damage, as th now really going to be put on the back foot, as he really wasn't expecting this tech change from Fly, and Fly now maybe going to lose this one Tauren, but bear in mind it can be brought back for only a cost of mana on Spirit Walker, so very nice there for him if he can get away with it. You know, one of these Tauren has been polymorphed there by these tier 3 Sorks, so really interesting play here by both players, as th now losing a lot of units, and we can see there's one Tauren being brought back at full health for only mana. So nice if you can get away with it, and the TP now being forced as th has been put in a bad position there. Obviously he couldn't go by Zeppelin, or because he had too many units, and also because the Raiders would have got the ensnares off there. Still no attack upgrades by the looks of things for the melee units of Fly, which would be very nice, especially on this Tauren. I think that would be something that we should be seeing soon coming from him. Certainly, once he gets this mine back up and running, perhaps that should be his priority. But he does now have this mine up and running, and looks like he's actually put 6 peons on this mine as well. I'm not sure if Fly knows something I don't, but actually TH getting a couple of towers put down here and getting them immediately caught out. TH now still at 89 food compared to the 76, so his mining off 2 base is actually only 8 gold per second as opposed to the 7 gold from this base. So actually incomes are pretty similar, but bear in mind Fly has 87 gold on the bank, whereas TH actually doesn't have too much, but he does have a huge army already, so he doesn't need to be spending too much more. Maybe just buying some more nice items for his heroes would be pretty nice. And now this food lunch finally going to go down, and as well as we can actually, yeah, I do stand by my point earlier. I think the Archmage could definitely use some better items. Actually, yeah, the Paladin with almost no good items. Really, a couple of invulnerability potions would be super nice at this point. No invulnerability potions on any of the units. The mana potions useful on the Mountain King, and the healing potions nice on the Archmage. But it looks like TH could be actually trying to take this expansion here, which is pretty gutsy, especially considering it only has 4,700 gold left. It's been mostly mined by Fly, but there's still a bit left. Certainly worth trying to take, especially because it's so antagonistic towards Fly. Fly, bear in mind, with 555 heroes now, so really much stronger heroes compared to the 433 of the human players. And we do now have TH now. We're actually getting a bit caught out of position here, but these towers are now going up, and maybe they'll be able to finish in time. One of them goes down. Healing wards now being put down as well. Very, very interesting choice here to get these witch doctors, but healing wards are so useful for the short time that they do live. They only have 5 health, and we can see TH, instead of trying to focus them down, has actually now pulled back. Polymorph being used yet again on these Tauren. A nice choice to do that, because it's so much easier than just focusing them down and just having them being reincarnated, and all you got from it was a bit of experience. And meanwhile, this one Griffin Rider now going to be taken down in the front, but it takes a lot of time to do any damage to these Griffin Riders, really, or really any of TH's units, because they all have so much armor because of that inner fire. And then we do now have left, right, and center these Taurens being brought back now, as well as the Spirit Walkers. Very, very nice play here by Fly, really playing this very smartly. And this Tauren now can be taken down, but probably will be brought back if there's enough mana left on these Spirit Walkers. Actually, there's not a lot of mana left, so maybe it won't be quite yet. But we do now have actually stasis traps being used as well here. Very amazing play by both players. And now this one arcane tower has finished. We can see it's immediately being focused on the alchemist. Really don't want that to get level 6, because then you can get a huge amount of trouble from transmute. And we do not have a TH really being forced back into this corner now. All these towers are now down. A couple of the peasants actually still got in the back lines, should be attacking there for TH, but it looks like TH now really in a bad position with his paladin. He's level 3, but bear in mind he has no divine shield, so as a result, this he's so low in health, and actually now the Archmage very low in health as well, being forced to TP out of here. And now this Blade Master is going to take a bit of focus, but it's not going to be enough in time. And wow, so close play by both players here. Actually, these peasants not being caught in the TP, and now level 6 on the Shadowhunter. And bear in mind, actually I didn't mention this before, but from this camp here, the Shadowhunter picked up the Pipe of Insight, which is just so brilliant, because it gives bonus mana to so many casters, which Fly's been making all this time. More healing wards being used, but as I say, 5 hit points, so they're very easy to focus down if you have something like a Water Elemental or an Archmage in a good place. He can't really be using his air units because he only has Griffin Riders, and Griffin Riders can attack healing wards. But if you built one Dragonhawk Rider just for the healing wards, it might even be worth it at this point, because those healing wards can just be such a nuisance otherwise, and really have to put your army out of position, or even just one unit out of position to try and kill it if one goes down in the back of their base. And we do have this one Spirit Walker actually being very far forward, immediately taken down, and then more towers going up. Obviously that Spirit Walker isn't going to be revived, because it's just going to be straight in the back lines of TH and going to be immediately taken down yet again. And TH now putting up some towers, which is going to be able to give him a bit of a wall as much as anything. That could be very nice, but we can see so many nice acid bombs being used here to really reduce the armor of these Griffin Riders. Now that there's, we do have level 5 on this Alchemist, and the Alchemist now doing a fair amount of damage with a Chemical Rage as well. But now the Tri-Hero of TH can be so powerful, and we do have Hex now on this Archmage. Archmage actually, a bolt goes off now on the Blade Master. Blade Master now really being forced back down to 20 health before being healed back up by the Shadowhunter, and now a bolt goes off on this Tauren, and Raiders focused down as well by the Griffin Riders. So really, this is how TH needs to try and win it now, with just hit and run tactics. It'd be interesting to see if we do see any sort of Bloodlust as well. Obviously breakers would be useful against that, but there's not doing any breakers left, and the Torn are just being so good at negating them. We do not have this level 6 Blade Master using the Blade Storm, chasing down the units, but TH knows he just needs to get out there. He needs to split his units a bit as well, and this Blade Master now a bit out of position, actually does need to move back as soon as that Blade Storm is over, but he's done a huge amount of damage to both the Paladin and the Mount King now from TH, and TH now getting his Paladin ensnared, so really does need to be, he is quite lucky it's in the back lines a bit, but we do not have this Blade Master yet again using Windwalk just when that bolt goes off. So really nice evasion there, but a lot of these units are getting very low, and this Shadow Hunter now only has one healing wave left, and a bolt able to take down one more Raider, and it looks like another Raider maybe going to go down if we can get a bash. Yes, we can get a bash there, and another Raider goes down, and that's going to leave no Raiders left for Fly, so Fly really needs to get out of this battle, because there's no way he can micro if he can't get any ensnares off. He's going to try and go for it actually, but he does need to be so careful, because he actually brings back one more Torn, but it could be focused on very quickly. It looks like TH actually pulling back a bit prematurely. This one Mount King has one more bolt left, as well as actually a mana potion, so it might be okay, and eventually TH manages to force the TP out of Fly when that Blade Master gets too low, and really Fly doesn't want to be playing it too close. He only had 80 mana left, and there were a couple breakers around, so Windwalk could be killed off, and that would just be so bad for Fly if he lost his hero at this point, considering that Fly only with 25 gold in the bank, and actually we can see, look how many production buildings he has. It's insane to have this many, and just 3 bestiaries, a couple Spirit Lodges, barracks, Torn, Totem, really everything going on here for Fly, as really he's just having no problem spending his money. It's more just the fact that he's only on one base, and he hasn't been able to really do anything to dent this base, while not being able to take a sort of while losing this potentially third base here for him, and TH now really going to be able to do a lot of damage. Maybe even can hold this off, but really the hero levels of Fly are so high now. We have almost level 6 even on this Alchemist, and 6 on his 2 other heroes. And it's really going to be scary for TH to try and do anything, especially considering he does have that Archmage, which is just such a potential weak link. So if he loses that, bear in mind, only has 650 health. This is level 5, really very low health. It's all the armor that's keeping him alive, as well as obviously things like the priests and Mount Kings and paladins and everything providing defense for him. But really, if you lose that Archmage, you can just be in so much trouble, because you no longer have the mana regeneration, which you absolutely super need for all your casters, which is basically the entire constituents of TH's army. And TH now with his Blade Master just running around, going to try and get back to the rest of his army, and maybe going to be looking to push yet again. TH knows that, or Fly knows that it's one base to one base at the moment, but now that this base has started, Fly's going to have to do something soon. TH is actually now back in low upkeep, and actually only 3 supply above Fly, who's at 75 food. And so many reveals being used this game by TH. I was saying you should really sell that crystal ball, but it's been absolutely amazing. The combination, the amount of reveals he's used. I'm not sure how many of them have been from the Goblin Laboratory, but certainly that one wasn't. I think definitely some of them have been, but I think not too many of them have been, because he just started using them so much, just really making the most of his information, knowing that he has a good amount of income, and that is Mount King actually doing a bit of harassment, trying to get a couple kills around here, but he didn't get anything. But this Water Elemental maybe will be able to get a couple kills. But Fly really can just try and put those peons in the burrows, and then bring them out and Spirit Link them when he has a battle, because really he doesn't need any more lumber, 4,500 lumber, and only 32 gold. So really, he should probably be bringing the Shredder with him to every battle as well. But at the moment, these peons are just free experience, and really doing almost no good for Fly's army. By comparison, TH, we can see also has a huge amount of extra lumber, but is now mining off 2 bases. So Fly needs to be very cost efficient at this point, and try and make the most of his heroes, which he certainly can do, because actually the triple hero combination for Orc, if you can ever get to it, is just so super powerful. And we do not have TH now going for this attack, making sure to get inner fire on every unit that you can get it on. Obviously you can't get it on the spellbreakers, but everything else. And I'm amazed actually we haven't had TH get really better upgrades for his spellbreakers, considering it's a huge part of his army at this point, or even get the 3rd attack upgrade for his Griffin Riders, considering that that would have been so nice for so long to have those. But at this point, maybe it's not even worth it, considering he's going to mine out pretty soon. Only sort of a couple minutes gold left there, actually a bit longer, but in the meantime, looks like Fly going to come in here straight away. Looks like he's going for the base raid, and TH immediately get a TP back. He's going to lose those 3 towers before the TP goes off, but it's a very aggressive TP. Will it be enough, though? We could have some nice stasis shots actually going down there, but looks like we weren't put down in time, and we do not have a lot of dispels going off, so the inner fires need to be recast, as well as the Spirit Link now going off as well. So useful as this for this sort of focus with the mass Griffin Riders, as well as the bolt damage as well. And we do have actually a lot of TH's units being caught back as he tries to retreat, but the ensnare just being so powerful, and another acid bomb goes off, taking the armor off a lot of the units from TH, and TH now going to lose a lot of his units before the battle even really begins, just trying to get in a better position. So very nice opening here for Fly, who is these super high level heroes, and does have better items as well. I think that's really been a shortcoming of TH here, not really having fantastic items. Bear in mind, he doesn't even have a TP now that he used it to TP into this battle, and we do not have a lot of units for Fly surging forward as he tries to get the Torrents forward, but obviously they have all been slowed because TH is just very good with making sure that he slows all the melee units so they can't get into the battle quickly. And we do have invisibility being used to try and save some of the heroes, but it immediately dispelled by Fly. Really very smart choice there, and another invisibility being used, and Fly this time doesn't dispel. It looks like he's probably pretty, actually no, he has a lot of mana left on his heroes, on his Spirit Walkers. It's a bit surprising he didn't continue that chase. Maybe he was worried about taking the fight in these small choke points here, whereas a huge number of melee units weren't going to be too useful. And Fly now poking forward to see where TH is going. Maybe it's actually, Fly looks like he could have actually caught the tail end of these units, maybe got a couple free kills there, and we knew to have this camp going to be finished off there by TH, who's getting very close to level 5 on his Mountain King, and that level 3 bolt would be very useful. But at this point, really, TH now maybe even going to lose this expansion. TH now pushing into high upkeep as well, but only 82 food compared to the 73 food of Fly, so pretty similar. The Fly is supply blocked actually, 73 out of 70, so it would be nice to see him put up at least one more burrow, just so he can try and build a couple more units, because he just actually have a good amount of gold in the bank, and he's not going to want to spend that all on items at this point. And we do have another battle going on, much better positioning here for TH. He's a very strong melee line that really Fly has too many units to try and engage there. We do have the Blade Master finally making it forward, immediately taking down one priest as well, but it looks like this Paladin should be in a good position. Bear in mind, it's Devotion Aura at level 2, so still no Divine Shield, and we do not have the bolt going off on this Blade Master, but TH knows he can't take it down before that bolt wears off, and he just doesn't have the DPS from his army at this point. His army's all about sort of the debuffs and the buffs, and not really too much about the actual damage. And another breaker now goes down there for TH as Fly continues to surge forward here. Really interesting army composition. These Taurens doing such a tremendous job of tanking. It'd be nice to see them Spirit Linked a bit more, but I think the Spirit Walkers here are really being attacked, and the Paladin does eventually get focused down there. Very nice play here by Fly as he just continues to push forward, but more reinforcements coming in here for TH, and these are the Griffin Riders are just so useful at taking down those Tauren super quickly, even with their 7 armor. The healing wave does go off, but it's not going to be enough to keep that Tauren alive. Well, maybe it will be, as TH sort of cowers backwards. Really does need to try and get that Paladin back. So he does eventually manage to do that, and he will eventually manage to get that Tauren kill, as well as that level 5 now on his Mountain King. The Mountain King can be getting some good bolts off, does get one there, or will be probably going for one at least soon, hopefully. Yeah, there he goes there, and now the Mountain King really going to be very low in health. It is eventually healed up now, but we do have these units just being constantly picked off here by Fly, and that's just giving us so much experience. Only a shade away from level 7 with this Big Master, already level 7. Oh, and a nice hit there, gets that Paladin kill, and looks like TH may be going to be taken now out of this game, because he's not going to be able to be constantly buying these heroes back, and we do have level 7 on the Shadow Hunter as well, and such nice forcing forward here by Fly, constantly just taking the damage. We can see he's just been healing wave so often because of this Pipe of Insight. Really, that's sort of the single winner of this game here for him. It's just so much mana regeneration here for both players, but really Fly had enough, even though he had slower regeneration rates, because obviously level 5 Archmage just gives a pretty good mana regeneration. But another Chemical Rage now being used, level 7 now on the Alchemist. Very nice in this one low Tauren. You can see how quickly a Healing Ward heals up a Tauren. It's absolutely insane, because Healing Wards heal based on as a percentage of the health per second. There's the GG there from TH, knowing that he can do nothing about that, knowing that Fly had taken down that expansion of his, and that there was really not much more he could do. Fantastic play there by Fly. Really smart, transitioning into that one Tauren totem, and really there was no way for TH to deal with that. Maybe he should have focused a bit more Griffins and a bit less on Breakers, but really such strong play there by both players. So I hope you enjoyed that game, folks. I'll try to bring you some more games in the near future. Thanks.